Hey guys, welcome back to another video here from the 2024 Chicago Auto Show. Behind me, I have a vehicle that I've actually already covered here on the channel in several different videos, but I have not seen hands-on in person yet, and that is the all-new 2024 GMC Acadia Denali, as well as the AT4. Now, the AT4 will be featured in its separate, dedicated video, so make sure to check that video out if you guys are curious. But we're gonna focus here on the Denali in this particular video, see what it has to offer, see what the interior materials are like, everything like that, because as you guys know, I have covered the exact packaging and pricing information, and this vehicle does start in the upper $50,000 price range and can exceed over $60,000. It should offer quite a bit of luxury as well as amenities, but we have covered that already. So let's go ahead and take a first hands-on impression of the all-new 2024 GMC Acadia here, and of course the downpour blue exterior color. So the Acadia Denali in front of us is finished in downpour metallic with the lighter beige two-tone interior. Now this is the vehicle that they've shown in some of the press images, the exact same color combination. So unfortunately I can't show you any of the new colors in the Denali lineup, but this is kind of downpour metallic, which looks fantastic. It has been available on some of the other vehicles, and there you can see the LED animation headlights, which look very, very cool. Now at the front end of every Acadia for this next generation, you will find full LED lighting with LED projector headlights, daytime running lights, as well as fog lights down below. And there you can see on the Denali, it does have the animated portion, which I believe is limited to only the top Denali trim. Now because this is the more luxury oriented version, you will find a little bit more upscale look on the exterior with the chrome accented grille. Quite bold and different versus the AT4, which I did just showcase here on the channel over there. Does have the 360 surround view camera system. There's the red GMC logo. Down below you find more chrome accents with a little bit of gloss black. Nice separation. Front and rear parking sensors around the exterior of the vehicle. Coming around the side, the Denali does have the paint match cladding on the exterior, which personally I really do like. But the one aspect I do miss versus the AT4 is the amber side markers, which you can see are illuminated just at the top of the fender flares. Now this one I believe is a Denali reserve package if I had to guess, as it does have the optional and available 22-inch alloy wheels, which are quite large and quite beefy for a vehicle like this. It is riding on a 275/45 22-inch Continental all-season tire. Again, 22-inch in size diameter, looks fantastic on the exterior. Coming to the mirrors, it does have a body color with LED turn signal integration, cameras on the bottom, and unfortunately it does not look like it has any sort of LED puddle lights. It does have blind spot detection, are heated, and it does not, it is going to be auto dimming here on the driver's side as well as the interior. The passenger side mirror is not auto dimming. Proximity entry on all four door handles with some gloss chrome accents, nice gloss black B and C pillars. Does have full LED lighting at the back, which I will overlay a little bit of footage here. Some nice roof rails at the top with the quad square exhaust, nice chrome accents on the lower bumper with some of the gloss black accents. So yeah, I think it looks fantastic. Love downpour metallic. Personally, this is only exclusive to the Denali if you guys have checked out some of my other videos. So if you want this exterior color, you cannot get it on any other trim level of the Acadia except the Denali. And of course, there are exclusive colors to the AT4 as well as the standard elevation as well. So make sure to check out those other videos here on the channel if you guys are curious about more information. Now taking a look on the interior of the Denali, this will have certainly a more upscale, nicer interior versus some of the other trim levels. So starting out here on the door panel, you have a two-tone effect with the lighter beige on the bottom, the nice brown accents on the top. All soft touch, of course. You can see some of the LED interior animation lighting, which is color selectable on the infotainment screen, which is very cool. That clarifies that for some people out there. Nice wood grain accents in a dark mocha type of color. Nice bright chrome accents on the upper section. Quilted leather with the accent stitching. Looks very premium. All, of course, nice soft touch. Power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic driver's side window. Power folding mirrors. Two-person memory seating, as well as the Bose upgraded premium audio system. I believe that is a 16-speaker setup. And there's the power liftgate controls down below with a good amount of bottle storage and just lower door storage in general. Now coming to the driver's seat, it's going to be a power driver's seat with four-way power lumbar. See nice brown plastics and brown accents on the sides of the seats. Nice accent stitching and patterned with the Denali embossed in the headrest. There's a look at the dashboard. See nice brown on the top with the lighter at the bottom, and of course the black accented leather wrap steering wheel. So stepping inside, immediately you'll see this is a different feel and overall layout versus the sister vehicle, the Chevy Traverse, and specific to the infotainment system, which is more vertical orientation, 15-inch in size, versus the more horizontal layout of the Chevy Traverse. You have the same 11-inch fully digital and configurable gauge cluster in front of the driver. This one is equipped with the Super Cruise package, and you do have the eye tracking sensor right here, so it will monitor your eye movement, make sure you are paying attention while Super Cruise is enabled. Leather wrap steering wheel, it is fairly beefy, which I personally do prefer over a slightly thinner steering wheel, likely for some of the hardware that is implemented in the steering wheel itself. There's your adaptive cruise, Super Cruise functionality on the left, audio multimedia, gauge cluster on the right, along with your heated steering wheel. It does have paddle shifters for the transmission on the back, as well as rockers for infotainment and some of the other audio multimedia controls. To the left of the steering wheel, you have your electronic parking brake, drive mode select, all-wheel drive to lock in all-wheel drive, as well as the engine stop-start system on-off button. And then there is your gauge dimming, like all of the physical buttons. Now, in comparison to the AT4, all of these materials are going to be smooth in nature, no hard textures or anything like that, and some nice lighter accent stitching. There's the heads-up display, 8-inch in size, in front of the driver. And then coming over to that multimedia touchscreen, I did just have a chance to see some of the pre-production, infotainment options on the screen just a minute ago, so I will overlay that here on the screen. But it does have Google integration, Amazon Alexa integration, a bunch of nice features that are kind of similar to other GM vehicles that have been rolling out, just a little bit more expansive in nature. And then all the buttons on the bottom, these are going to be buttons that select on the screen, locked in place, kind of always fixed at the bottom in terms of climate control, your temperature settings. The heated and ventilated seats are at the bottom of the screen as well. And then this is a dedicated volume knob. Nice to see some physical integration still, but overall it is going a little bit more in the digital touchscreen type of nature. Now the AC vents are located a little bit lower in the dashboard versus some of the other traditional SUV layouts. Not a bad thing necessarily, but they are orientated a little bit differently. You have a nice large wireless charging pad, USB-A and USB-C data inputs. There's a nice cover that you can retract in place to kind of hide the wireless charging. Nice wood grain, color accents, very, very nice touch if you want to kind of clean up this entire center console. There's two larger cup holders with nice chrome accents, soft touch materials on the sides of the center console, and then there is more charging down below as well as additional storage space for the floating center console. This is going to be a soft touch center armrest. Inside it'll be pretty deep, just a standard LED light to illuminate it, no additional ports or anything, but there is a good amount of storage for the additional capacity of this vehicle. Now up top, you'll find a lighter beige headliner to match the seating surfaces. Of course, vanity illumination, microphones, does have the digital camera rearview mirror. Does not look like there's garage home link at first glance, as these are the adjustments for the camera. But it does have OnStar, of course, your panoramic sunroof controls are up there, overhead LED lighting, and there is still a sunglasses holder, so if you're a fan of that, looks like this vehicle will retain that feature. And there's a quick look at the large panoramic sunroof. So yeah, that's a quick look at the front seat. Let's go ahead and jump out back. In terms of the second row, most of the materials will follow through from the front. So all nice soft touch materials on the door with the quilted accent stitching and the LED ambient lighting. There's a good amount of lower door storage. Of course, your nice Bose premium audio system. And one difference in terms of the captain's chairs of the second row seats, so this only comes in a 7-passenger configuration, is the power release and mechatronic function that I detailed in some of my other videos, but here is a first-hand look of how it works. So on the side of the seat, you have the adjustment for the recline of the seat back, so that'll tilt the seat back and forward. You have a bar to slide it forward and back, but this button in specific right here actually releases the seat via a power functionality, so you don't have to pull a lever that's found on the top of the seat over there in the AT4 as well as the elevation. So that is found there. It is instead via that button on the lower side of the seat, and that will go ahead and just do it for you in a power actuated motion. And that also works for some of the functionality in the back of the trunk area, which we will get to in a second. So putting the seat back and stepping in, step-in height is very, very reasonable and very easy on the side of this vehicle. And there you can see the dashboard is lighting up with some of the cool patterns of the Denali. And you do have heated second row seats. Unfortunately, there is no ventilation available, so that's a little bit behind some of the competitors in my opinion. Two large cup holders, a nice third AC automatic tri-zone climate control, 120 volt outlet, as well as additional USB-C charging. There is some of the map pockets on the backs of the front seats. I like how they are the darker accent leather instead of the lighter leather, just to keep it a little bit cleaner. There's a look at the seats for the second row themselves. They do have armrests on both of these seats. And then going ahead and stepping into the third row, once again, to demonstrate that functionality. Really nice one-touch function. Step-in is very, very easy, believe it or not. I actually am very, very impressed by the capability that you have with this vehicle. Putting the seat back in place, one thing you will notice is that immediately your knees will probably brush the backs of the seats, but luckily, like, this seat can move up a little bit for additional room for occupants. And that one-touch power release button is located here on the backs of the seat as well. So if you, in case you need to get out and can't reach that button on the side of the seat, GMC made it easy, and you can press that button right here, and that will go ahead and actuate the seat in the exact same form as that button on the side. So very, very cool implementation. Glad they did that for this vehicle. You will find USB-C charging here in the back on both sides, cup holders. It is going to be hard touch plastic, unfortunately, in the back, but there are going to be AC vents up in the ceiling for that tri-zone automatic climate control. And really no complaints for the overall space available in the third row of the Acadia. My knees are sitting up just a little bit higher, but I would say it's not at a very uncomfortable level. And in comparison to some of the other SUVs of similar size, this is, I would say, very reasonably in terms of overall space and headroom and stuff like that. So very impressed with the third row and the overall dimensions here on the interior of this all-new Acadia. But let's go ahead and jump into the cargo area, show you some of the unique functionality of the Denali in terms of the power folding second and third row seats and some of the other features back there. So take a look at the cargo capacity of the Denali and just the Acadia in general. Of course, it will have the power liftgate. And behind the third row seats, you'll see a vast improvement over the last generation Acadia in terms of overall available volume and space. So good amount of room behind the third row seats, even with them in place. I would say this rivals some of the larger in the segment. I wouldn't say this is the largest in the segment, but it very well could be near the top. And then in terms of the Denali specific, equipment is going to be the power release second, third row seats. So you do have the power folding second row seats, one touch function via the buttons on the top. And if you do want to lower and raise the third row seats, those are going to be power up down via those exact same buttons. So this is only found on the Denali. Once again, a little bit unfortunate, as I think this is very usable equipment for most families out there, rather than going around the side of the vehicle and then folding the seats manually or using the straps on the backs of the third row seats. But this is a more luxury oriented, fully loaded model, so I understand, I guess, why they chose to package it as such. And there is a 12-volt charging outlet in the back. And then beneath the floor, you do have a ton of additional underfloor storage. And one thing I like about the GM products is generally that will stay in place if you click it in there, and you have easier access beneath the floor like that. So overall, very impressive in terms of cargo capacity and everything like that. And there is going to be a temporary spare tire located beneath the floor as well, once you pop up the cover and then pull those few tabs in place. So yeah, that's going to be a look at the cargo capacity. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up here with the passenger front seat. And in terms of the passenger front seat, you will have power adjustments with, it looks like, 4-way power lumbar, which is very good to see. Same seating materials, of course. There's a better look at the dashboard with the ambient interior lighting in that yellow strip right there. That does continue onto the door panels. Damped glove box. It does have no LED lighting, it appears like, but there is a good amount of overall storage and room inside of the vehicle itself. So yeah, that's gonna be a quick look here of the all-new 2024 GMC Acadia Denali. You guys have to let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this exact vehicle, the overall trim level, the exterior color and packaging and everything like that. I think it is a little bit unfortunate that they've limited many of the nicer features to the Denali in the Denali Reserve package in specific, versus making them optional and available on some of the other lesser trims, including Elevation and AT4. But even with that said, it is still a very, very impressive list of standard features or available features in that Elevation. I will be interested to see that vehicle in person, hopefully once it hits dealerships over the coming months. And I assume availability in terms of the vehicles will be in the next, I would say, 2 to 3 months or so, once they enter production, go through their quality control phases, and then make their way eventually onto dealership lots. Now, in terms of pricing, we do have pricing information, so make sure to check out those dedicated videos here on the channel. channel. Thinking off the top of my head, the Denali starts in the very upper $50,000 range, pushing 60,000. And if you do fully load one up with the extra cost paint colors, the tow trailering package is standard on Denali as well as AT4. But yeah, it's Super Cruise in the Denali Reserve package, which is seen on this vehicle. You're going to be pushing the $65,000 price point for an all-wheel drive version, which is quite a lot of money for a vehicle like this. So you guys have to let me know if you think the $65,000 price point is worthy of this vehicle as seen behind me. Now, I have to reserve final judgment until I drive the vehicles, of course, get impressions of the new 2.5 liter turbo powertrain with the 8-speed automatic transmission, but it will be interesting to see, given that these are much more powerful than the naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that it is replacing, and should offer a good amount of performance and everything like that. So I'll go ahead and let you guys decide what you guys think of your overall opinions and comments down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video and or found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel, these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to stay tuned for additional coverage here at the 2024 Chicago Auto Show. But with all that being said, I appreciate you guys watching and continuing to support the channel. And as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.